Hi, everybody. If you've been watching recently, because I record these all on the same day for a week, you know that kitten Zara Moon made her appearance yesterday, so we'll see if she comes back. But I was doing some reading from one of my favorite writers, Richard Rohr, and I think he said this, but it might have been someone else writing on his website, and said that church is not a service station or a drive-through. I would substitute for that faith. Well, I know what he's getting at. People who feel they come to church, that they have to come and get charged up so they can go out into the world during the week, or so that they feel they just have to touch base with their faith and then everything is going to be okay. But our faith cannot be just for that. Church, faith, everything has to be 24/7, all week long. He goes on, or the writing goes on to say, until and unless Christ is someone happening between people, the gospel remains largely an abstraction. Until Jesus Christ is passed on personally, through faithfulness and forgiveness, through bonds of union, I doubt whether he is passed on at all. The idea here, I think, is that it's not enough for us to know what we believe. It's not enough for us individually to be rejuvenated. Our faith is meant to be shared. It's not a personal identity thing that's just for us. Like Jesus said, if it were not proclaimed, the very rocks would cry out. We have to figure out, as I've often said to you, what is the one thing that's the good news, the great news for you? What can you not keep quiet about? And, maybe that's God is love. Maybe it's that we are forgiven. Maybe it's that God says, I've called you by name and you are mine. Whatever it is, whatever your message is, has to be shared. Or else the gospel just is not good news. We have to share it with each other. So, one of the things that I want to raise for you today is sort of this understanding that figuring out what your good news is only step one. The next step is figuring out how are you going to share that. Now, some people have the luxury of preaching. Well, some don't see it as a luxury. I do. It's a privilege, because then we are able to share our faith all the time. But everyone needs to be sharing their faith in some way, in some fashion that works for you. I think it was either yesterday or the day before I mentioned rest time in kindergarten. Well, another great lesson from kindergarten is show and tell. We have to show and tell what our faith is. And it's going to be different for all of us. For some, it might be through writing or through talking. For others, it will be through volunteerism. For others, it might be through the arts. But there has to be a way where you not only know what the good news is, but then you find a way to share it. What is the core message about God, about faith, that you need to share? And then figure out how to do that every day. Because that's what we are called to do. Show and tell. Show our faith and tell about it. I can tell there's a sermon brewing here. But, understand that that's what keeps Jesus alive. That's where the living Christ, the risen Christ lives, is in the show and tell. Okay? Thanks for joining me for this prayerful pause with the pastor, a moment when we think of something greater than ourselves, and in this case it is how to share that which makes us greater than ourselves. Until next time, I'll see you then. God bless. Take care. I'm Pastor Deb of South Presbyterian Church in Rochester, New York. And bye for now.